Omega, the ancient Time Lord made of pure antimatter, once defeated by the Doctor, is plotting to cross over into this dimension by bonding with the Doctor. Meanwhile, the disappearance of a man in Amsterdam piques the curiosity of his cousin Tegan, who previously left the Doctor at Heathrow Airport and now finds herself at Omega's mercy. Fearing total destruction from the collision of matter and antimatter, the Time Lords recall the Doctor to Gallifrey to undertake the only viable solution: executing him. Welcome, friends and companions! How are you today? Sci-fi and fantasy fans and all sort of fans, welcome. Meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books and movies, series and franchises. We also talk about the food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on this channel for Doctor Who, my most beloved sci-fi series of all time. This name has multiple names. Uh, has got many regenerations, that's like the Doctor. Most of the time is it called Random Entertainment Channel. Random because we'll discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music. Uh, we don't do politics and religion. These are not entertainment. We want to have laughter, jokes and humor. So no politics and no religion discussed on this channel. We want to have a fun time. Yes, 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 yes. Random entertainment channel because we'll broadcast non-fixed times and actually on many different times. And the reason behind this is want to meet so much people as possible because of the different time zones and countries. I want to make friends and companions and serve as much people as possible. So you need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Past, present, and future are mixed together. Just like the Doctor travels in the TARDIS to space and time, I travel to space and time on this channel. So, yes. Random Entertainment Channel also, because we'll have no guests or different guests. It depends on what to join me in the live stream panel. If you want to join me in the live stream, feel free to contact me. You can put a comment on one of the videos on YouTube, or you can visit me on meet me on the Discord server, Random Entertainment Channel. And we will look what is possible. And what also is possible is to invite me for your channel for a live stream panel. I want to contribute also to your channel, make friends and companions, and talk about the things we are interested in, that we love. So, in summary, you are invited for my channel and feel free to invite me for your channel. Yes. Discord server again is called Random Entertainment Channel. Tag Doctor Who on the Discord and you find me very quick because I build the server regularly. So cheers, mate. And have lots of fun. This is your host, Enigmatic Joker. An Enigma and Mystery Random. Yeah. Today, we have a fifth Doctor story. Peter Davison. Called Arc of Infinity. Some general info about the story. First of all, let's go. Arc of Infinity was the first serial of season 20 of Doctor Who. Janet Fielding returned as Tegan in the serial, rejoining the Fifth Doctor and Nyssa on their travels. Colin Baker made his Who debut in the story, playing Commander Maxwell. Just over a year later, he would take over as the Sixth Doctor at the end of season 21. Of the several Doctor Who stories filmed outside the UK in the late 1970s, early 1980s, he was the only one to open a season. Arc of Infinity also allowed both Peter Davison and Baker to play antagonists in the story, making them the fourth and fifth actors of the Doctor, albeit with Baker currently playing a different role, to have played both the Doctor and one of the main antagonists in a story, following William Hartnell in The Massacre, Peter Troughton in The Enemy of the World, and Tom Baker in Meklos. Oké, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. We dive now into the plot. Um, if you haven't watched and or listened to this story yet, I highly recommend you to do that and come back later. Otherwise, you can also stay tuned or whatever. So this story has four parts, and we go to part after part after part after part. So, are you ready? I am. Let's go. Part one. On Gallifrey, a Time Lord is at work, stealing the biodata extract of another Time Lord and killing a technician named Taylor, who stumbles across the crime. The traitor provides the biodata to a creature composed of antimatter and uses the biodata to invade the TARDIS and then the Fifth Doctor's metabolism. The Doctor's companion, Nissa, helps him recover. The creature is shielded in this attempt by the Arc of Infinity, a curious curve between the dimensions containing quad magnetism, which can shield antimatter. The Doctor decides to head to Gallifrey to track down the supplier of his biodata, conscious that, unless the creature trying to cross universe is stopped, its incursion could cause a fatal chain reaction to the universe. Meanwhile, in Amsterdam, Netherlands, backpackers Robin Stewart and Colin Fraser decide to crash at the crypt of the Frankendahl mansion. During the night, Colin hears something and investigates. He finds a curious bird-like creature, the Ergon, which hypnotizes him. A terrified Robin runs away. The High Council of the Time Lords has also taken the matter seriously and has decreed that the Doctor's TARDIS should be recalled. The Chancellery Guard, under the overzealous Commander Maxwell, seizes the Doctor and Nissa. When the Doctor resists arrest, Maxwell shoots him. End of part one. Part two. The Doctor has been stunned to ensure his delivery to the High Council. When he is brought before the High Council, new Lord President Rusa is inscrutable, while Chancellor Talia and Cardinal Zorek are openly hostile. Only his old friend Councillor Hedin seems pleased to see the Doctor back on Gallifrey. The President stresses the gravity of the situation since the creature poses such a threat to the universe, and the High Council has no alternative but to issue a warrant of termination on the Doctor to ensure the creature can no longer bond with him. Fortunately, an old friend, Damon, who is another technician in the records section, provides the Doctor with the proof he needs that a member of the High Council stole his biodata extract. Meanwhile, the Doctor's former companion, Deacon Jovanka, arrives in Amsterdam looking for cousin Colin. Instead, she is greeted by Robin, who tells her that Colin has disappeared. When neither of them can persuade the police to take an interest, they decide to investigate the crypt themselves. Back on Gallifrey, the Doctor is soon taken for execution, despite Nissa's attempts to save him, and placed in a dispersal chamber. The sentence is carried out. End of part 2. Part 3. The supposed death of the doctor, however, has not solved the situation. Unbeknownst to the High Council, his mind has been taken into the Time Lord living repository of knowledge, the Matrix, while his body is hidden behind the force field in the termination cubicle. Creature is a renegade Time Lord who demands an opportunity to return to the universe it once inhabited. The truth of the aborted execution is discovered by the wily Castellan, who, while questioning Nissa and Damen to their involvement, tells them that the doctor is alive. The Castellan summons and then tells the High Council. In the crypt, Tegan and Robin are attacked by the Ergon's weapon, a matter converter, and transported into a hidden TARDIS belonging to the renegade. Their minds are scanned, revealing to the creature that Tegan knows the Doctor. The renegade uses Tegan as bait to force the Doctor to obey him, also releasing Colin from his slavery as a reward. The Doctor is returned to normal space on Gallifrey, where he makes for the High Council chamber. Lord President Borusa has fallen under suspicion of being a traitor because the Castellan has revealed it was his codes that were used to transmit the biodata. The truth, however, is that Hayden is the traitor. He's in awe of his master, the mighty Omega, first of the Time Lords and pioneer of time travel. Hayden wishes to release Omega from his exile in a universe of antimatter, not realizing the great Time Lord has been driven mad his years of solitary confinement. The Castellan kills Hayden, but this does not prevent Omega using the Arc of Infinity to seize total control of the Matrix and, therefore, the organization of Gallifrey. End of part 3. Part 4. Fortunately, the Doctor and Melissa manage to slip away and return to the TARDIS. They use the scant knowledge provided by Tegan to determine that Omega has established his base in Amsterdam on Earth and head there immediately, desperately trying to find the Frankendal script she described. And after a lengthy hunt, they find the lair defended by the Ergon, and Nissa disposes of it with its own matter converter. They reach Omega Stardust at the point at which both the ship is destroyed and Omega makes full transference to Earth using the Arc of Infinity. When Omega peels his decayed mask away, he reveals that he now has the same face as the Doctor. Omega heads off into Amsterdam with the Doctor, Tegan and Nissa in hot pursuit. Within a short time, the Doctor's prediction of an unstable transfer begins to come true. Omega's flesh decays, and it is clear his new body is not permanent. When the Doctor, Tegan, and Nissa catch up with him, it is a painful task for the Doctor to use the Ergon's matter converter on Omega, expelling him back to his own universe of antimatter. The Time Lord High Council of Gallifrey detects the end of the threat. Later, once Tegan has checked on her cousin's progress in hospital, she decides to rejoin the TARDIS crew, this time as a willing traveler. And that, my friends and companions, is the end of the story Arc of Infinity. I will name some cast members. The Doctor is played by Peter Davison. Tegan is played by Janet Fielding. Nissa is played by Sarah Sutton. President Borusa is played by Leonard Sachs. Chancellor Talia is played by Elspeth Gray. Councillor Hayden is played by Michael Cobb. The Castellan is played by Paul Jericho. Cardinal Zorak is played by Mark Harvey. Commander Maxwell is played by Colin Baker. Haha. Omega is played by Ian Collier. Damon is played by Neil Douglas. Taylor is played by John D. Collins. Colin Fraser is played by Alistair Cumming. Ron Stewart is played by Andrew Boxer. The hostel receptionist is played by Maya Wolf. The Argon is played by Malcolm Harvey. And the second receptionist is played by Guy Groon. Okay, some world building in case of biology. To remain in end space, Omega needs to bond with a Time Lord, reversing his polarity. To that end, Heading steals and transmits the Doctor's biodata extract. Some world building in relation to the Doctor, and after him finding himself vaporized, the Doctor appears in the Matrix. Something in individuals. Tegan has lost her job as an air stewardess and was hoping that meeting Colin Fraser, her favorite cousin, will cheer her up. The second thing is in this is that the demon tells the doctor that his former companion Lila is well. The doctor is sorry to have missed her and Endred's wedding. The third thing in the individuals is that one guard alerts Maxwell to the doctor and Nissa's presence, while another tries to arrest them. Some world building in species. The doctor dismisses the Ergon as one of Omega's less successful attempts at psychosynthesis. Some world building in TARDIS, 4 points. The Doctor is recalled to Gallifrey. Once there, his TARDIS is incapacitated by the removal of the main space-time element from under the console, although the Daemon later replaces it with one without a recall circuit. Second thing, Max removes the heart of the TARDIS, or part of it. The third thing with the TARDIS is that the Doctor repairs the audio system of his TARDIS, and this says it needs some other repair work after it was damaged by the Cybermen. In her opinion, in particular, navigation system and the state of temporal grace, which failed during the Cybermen attack on the TARDIS. And a fourth thing with the TARDIS is that Omega has acquired TARS. Some world-building technology, 2 points, is the fusion booster is a piece of equipment from Gallifrey, capable of an enormous conversation rate over very short periods and fueled by anything that contains hydrogen atoms. And second thing is that the Time Lords use impulse lasers. And last thing in world building, 2 points for the Time Lords. Brusa has regenerated again and is now Lord President. And when he meets the Doctor, Brusa notes that he has also regenerated. And last thing is that a sound similar to a cloister bell is heard when the execution of the Doctor is to be performed. Some story notes. The story has the working titles of The Time of Neman and The Time of Omega. Second thing, Peter Davison also played Omega in part 4 when Omega's body becomes a replica of the Doctor's, but was credited on screen only as the Doctor. Third thing is that Sean Arnold and Patrick Stewart were considered for the role of the Castellan. Another thing is that Colin Baker was cast as Maxwell after assistant floor manager Lynn Richards recalled seeing Baker in the city at the edge of the world. A 1980 episode of Blake's 70 CH 36. Um, Crowd control in Amsterdam proved to be a major issue throughout the shoot, with Dutch viewers recognizing Peter Davison from All Creatures Great and Small. John Nathan Turner tried to assist Ron Jones in dealing with the onlookers, and indeed is visible in the transmitted version of Arc of Infinity, gesturing away a group of onlookers in the background of the part 4 scene of the Doctor and Nissa at the telephone box. At one point, Nathan Turner's attempts at crowd control became dangerous when an elderly woman assumed he was a thief and attacked him. The Dutch street organ that transfixes Omega for a moment during part 4 is playing the song Tulips from Amsterdam. The same music is heard during the establishing shot of Amsterdam at the start of part 1. Another thing is that Ian Collier takes on the role of Omega, originally played by Stephen Thorne in the TV story The Three Doctors. Um, yes, with the Three Doctors, of course. Liam Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, and John Pertwee. And so, to keep the return of Omega surprise, Collier was built in the end credits as the Renegade for parts 1 and 2, with the bidding becoming Omega for parts 3 and 4. Um, Another thing is that every story during season 20 featured a component of a story from the show's past. For this serial, it was Omega who last faced the first three incarnations of the Doctor in the 10th anniversary story, The Three Doctors. Another thing is that Tegan is the first companion to have rejoined the Doctor on his travels after having been departed, although other companions, recurring characters had previously left the Doctor's company, then reappears. Another thing is that Tegan, while playing a significant part in the serial, has no scenes on Gallifrey, does not interact with half of the guest cast. Another thing is that John Nathan nicknamed Colin Baker Archie because he thought he gave the archiest performance he's ever seen in rehearsal. Another thing is that Colin Baker had to remove his elaborate helmet, which he nicknamed Esmeralda, as it keeps bumping into doorways and arches on the set. So he spent most of the story with the helmet under his arm, against his hip. He later said it felt like he was carrying a chicken around and took it, calling it the chicken. Um, Another thing is that the story was originally set in London, but they chose Amsterdam. There's an original storyline, and the original storyline involved the Doctor in suffering nightmares about his regeneration, which were actually a precursor to the arrival of an entity called the Avatar, who takes on the Doctor's form and goes to Amsterdam. Operating there as Neiman, the Avatar begins to take control of human minds, striving to create a form in which it will be able to permanently maintain its existence. The Doctor needs to discover Neiman's plot when they land in a future version of Amsterdam, which is populated by robot guards called sweepers, the elderly resistors and barbaric anarchs. Realizing that history has been altered, they travel back in time to present-day Amsterdam. There, the Doctor discovers that Time Lord regeneration is the mechanism by which the Avatar is made manifest. The Avatar is defeated when the Doctor relives his own recent regeneration. That was the original storyline, but I skipped it for some reason. Um, um, Colin Baker was a fan of the show and delighted to play a guest role, but also disappointed that this seemingly meant that he could not play the Doctor. Um, Another thing is that Colin Baker jokes that while filming the scene where Commander Maxwell shoots the Doctor, he was gunning Peter Davidson's part. Davidson claimed that Baker enjoyed the scene a bit too much. Um, um, there's another thing about Tegan. John Nathan Turner never explained why he wanted Tegan back or left her behind. Eric Soward thought it was contrived, while Peter Davison thought it was a ludicrous coincidence. Uh, Okay, that's for it for the notes. Most important notes of it. So, some continuity because I repeat myself in every live stream in the universe. To some extent, stories and episodes are related to each other, are linked to each other, are referencing to each other, and are influencing each other. And yeah, for me, every time I rewatch a story, an episode again, I discover new things. That's what makes I like the Doctor Who so much. And yeah, yeah, every fan has his own interpretation of things. I'm always looking for some continuity, and is my interpretation of some things. So, first of all, Barusa has now ascended to the role of Lord President. And there's a link to the Deadly Assassin, and that is fourth Doctor story. And also Invasion of Time. Um, That's also the fourth Doctor story with actually with Leela and K9 Mark One in it. The second thing is that Leela has married Endred, for whom she had left the fourth Doctor in also in the TV story The Invasion of Time. The third thing is that Doctor again enters the Matrix, also in the story Deadly Assassin. The fourth thing is that the Castellan mentions that the destruction of a Time Lord has only been ordered once before. Previously, Morbius was ordered destroyed. See that in TV story The Brain of Morbius, also a four Doctor story with Tom Baker. A fifth thing is that a traitor is found to be at work on Gallifrey, not for the first time. Also, the TV story Deadly Assassin and Northwest TV story The Five Doctors. It, yeah, Peter Davison also. Actually, it was a anniversary special. Um, the sixth thing is that Talia comments on the Doctor's previous inability to return Romana to Gallifrey after she helped him collect the key to time. That is a TV story The Armageddon Factor. The Doctor tells her that she chose to stay in E-Space. See that in TV story Warriors Gate. A seventh thing is that the dress worn by Nissa at Cranley Hall is seen in her room. Seen in TV story Black Orchid. Next thing is that Nissa and Tegan spent several days on holiday in Amsterdam in 1983. And there's a link to audio The Elite, while the Doctor was dealing with Omega in the sector of Forgotten Souls. You see it in the audio, you can hear that in the audio Omega. The next thing is that Tegan would later tell Dr. Nissa that she lost her sense of adventure in Amsterdam. That is in prose, the sense of time. Next thing is that Sorag notes how violence has erupted on Gallifrey every time the Doctor returns there. Um, there's a link to TV story The War Games with the second Doctor Predict Troughton, Deadly Assassin, and that the Invasion of Time for Doctor. Next, Tegan later described on the Aragon as looking suspiciously like a plucked chicken. That is, you can hear that in audio, The Waters of Amsterdam. And the last thing is that the Doctor will take on Maxwell's appearance during his next regeneration. And that is linked to the TV story, The Case of Androzani, where the fifth Doctor regenerates, the sixth Doctor, Peter Davison, regenerates into Colin Baker. And that, my friends and companions, is all I have to say about this story. So, it's time for some commercial. Sci-Fi Fantasy fans and all sorts of fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on this channel for Doctor Who, my most beloved sci-fi series. I enjoy watching it. I will watch it to eternity. Yes. Random, because we discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music. Random, because we broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random, also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends on what you join me in live stream or panel. If you want to join me in live stream, feel free to contact me via a comment under one of the YouTube videos or to visit me on the Discord server. And we will look what is possible. This Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Talk Tool. On this board, you find me very quickly because I bump the server regularly. Rhymes. What you has made and have lots of fun. This is your host, Enigmatic Joker. So, I'm looking forward to meet you. See you next time. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Bye bye.